Morning, everyone. Welcome to Joe Stories. Today is Wednesday, I think it's the 24th or 25th. Honestly, I'm not sure. But let's see. Sunday, I did this yesterday. Sunday's the 29th, Saturday 28th, Friday 27th, Thursday 26th, Wednesday 25th. Today's the 25th, October 25th, and it is 9:50 in the morning. One of the earliest videos I have ever done. I don't know if this is the record, but it's pretty high up there. As far as today getting going, I set the alarm for 8 o'clock. I did get up. I did snooze, I believe maybe twice. I'm not too sure. But eventually I crashed. I think I snoozed like 3 times because I remember hearing the snooze at like 8:30. And eventually I did get up and I saw 8:40. So I don't know if I passed that again, I don't remember, but it was 8:40. And might have been a little bit of luck that I only fell asleep for maybe 10 minutes with no alarm on. I don't know if the alarm was on, still snoozing, but I got up and I'm happy about that. I did miss my mark, but I'm out here on the road and my plan was to activate my app for my driving by 10:30. So I'm looking good. Again, I'm about a half hour behind. I wanted to start around 10, which may be 10:15. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I like to keep good time. It's just how I am. Today in San Francisco, the weather is a little bit cloudy, but there are big patches of clear skies. So I'm looking forward to a nice day, and it says 63. So here we are, October 23rd, 2023, and it is 63 degrees outside, and it's going to be a nice day. As far as anything else cooking today is Wednesday. I get to see my son, which is always a good day. I say I get to see him, but I don't know. Maybe it's I don't really know how to phrase it. I get to see him. I'm happy to see him. Not that I'm being allowed, but it's like, I guess in a sense, people use like blessings. I get to have this honor, or I don't know if it's an honor, but it's definitely a blessing. I get to see him today, so I'm happy about that. As far as yesterday was a very long day, which was actually kind of exciting. I started out my day. I did my morning video just to check in, warm myself up, which always feels good. And first rider of the day, we talked from my neighborhood all the way into downtown San Francisco, which was maybe 20-25 minutes. And he's a financial advisor in that world. I think he's maybe about 30-31, I'm not sure, but so not higher level, but he has experience. 31. You've been in the game. I think he said he's been doing it about 6 or 7 years. So that's time. And we were just going back and forth. I'm not necessarily so green that I don't know things at all, but specifics and things like that, it's not my world. Obviously, I'm not working in a how did he phrase it? Like a financial bank. He said they're called financial banks, but they're not necessarily banks. That's just what they call themselves. Like a loan bank. I forget how he phrased it. Plus, I'm still kind of waking up here and just talking off the top of my head. But I did some good rides, and started at about 10:30, and then I finished up about 3. So I got my time in, and the money, I tell you, like driving, plus I just had some coffee, so, and I'm not really a coffee drinker, so I'm already kind of going here. But I tell you, the driving nowadays in the city is just, I've been doing this. I think yesterday was like day number 8, spread out over, almost a 2-week period, less than 2 weeks. But day 8, and I haven't had one ride out to the airport from any hotel or any residents at all. Zero, which is amazing, because when I was doing this before, 4 years ago, I stopped doing it. I think it was around September. It was around September of 2019. Definitely out by October, I remember I wasn't driving. Half of my rides were airport rides, and going down south, San Mateo, Mountain View, because Google, Apple, all those companies are down there, Silicon Valley. Driving up and down the peninsula on the freeway, those were my rides. Now, granted, you're spending more on gas because you're doing those rides, but you're also making more, and you have more opportunity for tips because you're doing longer rides. $10, $5, especially if they like you. And some people want to talk, some people don't want to talk. I'm going to talk to people and see, not necessarily try to work a tip, but my thing is, you make it friendly. I guess it is kind of working a tip. You make it friendly. You take them door to door. You communicate with them, and I wish Uber was like old yellow cabs, where it was kind of implied, that you had to, give them a couple bucks, because they don't do that. Especially the kids. I mean, it depends on the kid, but they don't do it. They just, let me get my $6 and then just get to my place, and then, not give anything. Give $1 a ride, man. Like $1. Not gonna kill you. If I got $1 for every ride, yesterday I did 10 rides, I would have got an extra $10. Might not seem like a lot, but there are some gas stations in the city where gas is maybe I think I filled up yesterday with $50 for like $5.19. That's almost 2 gallons of gas right there. It goes a long way. I know it's only $1, but it does add up. Every dollar counts, and I know even for the customers, every dollar counts. But come on, man, so just give $1. It's not the end of the world. But you can't force those things, so you do try to work it a little bit, as best as you can, in a friendly way. You're not trying to lie or anything. You're just talking to them, making the ride as pleasant as possible, communicating, getting them there safely. For example, yesterday I had a three older teenagers, early 20s, and I had the dad in the front, and oh man, those are tough. Because I'm sure the guy was, I don't know how old he was, maybe 50. I'm sure he's a little bit uncomfortable because he's sitting in the front seat. And I've been doing this, I've got, over 10,000 rides here. So I pick up on it. I'm sure he's uncomfortable just based on my own experience of sitting next to a stranger, and I'm not a little guy. I mean, I'm not that big, but I'm driving my vehicle, confidently, because it's my car, and your safety's in my hand. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm going to talk to you. You're sitting right next to me. I'm not going to sit here like awkwardly like a robot while he's like flexing and like grabbing the thing and taking up space and doing the dad maneuvers where he's like really stiff, doesn't say one word the entire trip, and is like sitting on the armrest, and you're just like, dude, like lighten, why don't you take a deep breath? You'll feel better. Roll the window down. You know what I mean? Like, it will calm me down, because I pick up on the vibe. He probably isn't a bad person. I don't really know him. He seemed like a friendly enough guy. I took them to their destination. I tried to communicate the best I could. He wasn't tired. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't think they're waking up from a nap. I picked them up, down in a tourist area, high tourist area. Even the kids were like barely talking. So the dude was kind of a tense person, and I've been here before, all this kind of stuff. I already know everything, all this kind of stuff. You're just like, all right, just chat it up. And no tip. You guys are tourists. I took you through the neighborhood. I showed you the areas. I showed, this is a good place to eat in case you guys are looking for a place to eat. Can you throw me $1? No, I don't give that guy a tip. Who knows what he said? I have no idea. Or maybe they didn't even think about it. But, again, whatever. Those are the kind of rides you're going to get. As far as yesterday, yeah, so I wrapped up, and yesterday was Tuesday, was not the day that I'm scheduled to see my son. So I reached out, trying to work out something to get his haircut. He's only had one haircut in the history of his life. I've been wanting to do one for 6 months. I'm a nice enough guy. I'm not just going to go take him and get a haircut and then bring him back to his mom and say, here you go. I just did it on my own. I'm working it out with her, but things get dragged along, and we're here 6 months later. He still hasn't done it. I think she did one and just had like 2 spots snipped on the side. And his birthday came and went almost a month ago. I wanted to do it before his birthday, and you know, I'll be honest, it's a little bit upsetting when it's like, well, why can't we just do it next week? And it's like I had to say no. You know, I will either do it this week myself, or this specialty person that who knows if they even exist. You know, we'll do it for him, because you said you're going to make an appointment, and you know, like I said, I don't want to just go and just do it, but this is the week, and it's already been planned for 2 weeks that this is the week, and I want him just to look nice and clean. It looks to me, it looks like so sloppy, because it's not like it's long, but like you know, like even, like you can comb it or brush it however they do it. I don't have hair. I haven't had hair in a long time, but you know, things like that, like kind of make him look kind of clean and fresh. It's just like long in different areas, and it's uneven, and he's got like curls in the front and on the side, and I don't mind that he has curly hair, and when it gets cut, it's not going to be straight, you know, when you brush it, maybe when it's a little wet or something, but just to have it even so it looks good, because it just looks like a mess. It just looks unkept, and you know, it doesn't look good. And I'll be honest, you know, people think that he's a girl when they see him. They think, oh, you know, he's a girl, but yeah, I don't really care about that. They're so little, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I could see that, but for me, I don't see it because I'm with him, you know, and he's just like sitting there in like a shopping cart, and usually it's old grandmas, you know, so I don't know if they can't see. Their vision's kind of, you know, screwy. They just see the long hair and they just automatically say that. So, you know, so I don't really care about that stuff. But like I said, it looks sloppy, and it's the same thing like having like a car. Not the same thing, obviously, because it's different, but you know, things, I don't own him, but you know, things that I have, that I protect, that I take care of, you know, I want him to be able to learn that, to take care of himself, instead of just let things go. And you know, when he's a teenager, he can grow it down to his ankles. I can't control that, you know, but little things like that, you know, just take care of yourself. Get used to being taken care of, so then you eventually can grab the torch and take care of yourself in these ways. It's important. It's important. And, you know, I don't want to get into the personal stuff, but, you know, it's important for me to do that. So this is the week. I said this is the week, and I'm going to stick by it. So if the specialist for a haircut for a 2-year-old is not available, I will just go and do it. I have someone, you know, block away from my house. She's very nice, and she's cutting hair all the time. It's not like this is a professional person that this is what they do for a living. And her name is on the front. This person's, I won't say her name, but you know, it could be like, you know, for example, you know, Janie's haircut, you know, place. It's not her name, but that's what it is. And you're just, you know, that's what she, and I walk by all the time with my son. Even yesterday, she's cutting hair. Kids too. So she has experience, and she's very nice. And side story, when I met her, I mean, I had met her before, you know, passing by, just saying hello, but I was walking by with my son. This was about maybe 2 months ago, and there was a homeless guy across the street in this like school area that was like screaming, and I'm walking by, and you know, hello, how you doing? And we started chatting. I said, do you hear this homeless guy? And she said, you know, because he sounded like angry, You know, it can turn into like a dangerous thing, you know, where it's like, you know, we want this guy around like kicking in windows, you know, car windows. You know, I'm not opposed to you know, calling who you got to call. You can call 311, you can call the police, you can call who we need to call. If the person is a danger and you don't feel comfortable, or you feel like the neighborhood maybe isn't necessarily, you know, prepared for this kind of person, um, you know, you call when they're like that. You know, sometimes the guy's sleeping in the doorway, sometimes he's not. I don't just call, you know, but when they're like that, usually high on drugs, you gotta you at least have to keep your eye out on him. And this whole thing like, no, 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 you know, you know, they are what they are, you know, just because it's like with anything, just because you have empathy and you can sympathize with their situation. And, you know, some people, you know, like in the shelters, they really love these people and they feed them, you know, things like that. That's good stuff to have. But if the dude's got a knife or he looks dangerous, even if he's not dangerous, you have to be careful. You have absolutely have to be careful. And I don't care what they tell you, you know, oh no, no, it's so peaceful. Be peaceful. No, 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 no. I don't care, because these people will bite you. They have. They will bite you. I have heard stories. I won't say right now, but they will absolutely bite you without any hesitation at all. And that's just the beginning. They'll pull knives out, just start whipping them around. You know, so you have to be very, very careful. So to back up, I was walking by, and I go, yeah, you got this guy over here. She goes, oh, really? Yeah. So she looks, oh my God, you know, he's there sometimes. We're just talking. I was new to the area anyways, right down the street. So she goes, hey, do you like cake? I was like, cake? She goes, you like cookies and things like that? You want some cookies? It's like, I looked at William. I was like, he doesn't really eat that stuff. But I was like, okay, I'll take one. Maybe I'll give him a couple bites. You know, because a little bit of sugar with him. You give him one scoop of ice cream, he's wired for, you know, an hour. I mean, he's wired. You know, it's amazing. I've never seen that. But one little scoop of ice cream, he does it. So something to keep an eye on. But at the time, you know, I didn't give him. I don't think I've given him maybe cheesecake. And that was it. The only sweets I had ever given him. We shared a piece of cheesecake one time, which was fun. He ate it. It was great. So then she comes out, and she has this big tray of pastries. There's like 10 pastries in this box. And I open the box. She says, no, take them all. So then her husband, who's like laying on the couch inside the place, you know, like just a little sitting area that they have for their customers, he gets up. He's like, wait, hold on. So he comes over. I think he grabbed like a couple things. And I took him home, and I had like 8 full pastries, like chocolate bars, brownies, some cookies, cheesecakes. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, I gave some to my son's mom. Excuse me, it's still a little early. I gave some of them to my son's mom, and you know, I think you know, me and my son, we shared a few, and you know, maybe one, and it was great. But yeah, she's very nice, and I think she'd be a good person to cut the hair. And then, you know, yesterday, so I picked him up yesterday around 3:30, and I had been going all morning. And I got him. We went to the park. We came home. We parked the car, and because the day before he was so wired, like, I learned my lesson. He was like bags under the eyes, completely exhausted when I picked him up from daycare. Maybe because Sunday was a long day. Monday he's working. I mean, not working, but he's doing stuff at daycare. And he had bags under his eyes. So I was like, okay, we won't go to the park. I asked him, want to go to the park? He goes, no, you know, he didn't want to go. I let him decide. You know, we're still filling things out, you know. I could have pushed it, but I just kind of let him say, okay, we won't go. We came home. I fed him by 5:30, and usually we leave about 6:30 to take him back. By 5:30, he was wired up. I mean, like goofy wired, like really, really jumping around, bouncing around. And my instinct was we should go for a walk. But I was like, well, if we leave now, because I'm thinking the normal route, leave the house, walk to the park, walk around. I'm thinking that'll take us like, an hour. And by the time we get back, it'll be time to go. I don't know what I was thinking, Plus, maybe I was a little tired, but not so tired. I was thinking to get out. Um, and we didn't. And by the time I got him home, he was like fully, whacked, hyper. And then later that night, I went online and I saw, when kids are tired, their cortisol kicks in. So it makes them more wired. So they wake up more instead of getting tired. It's just it's a survival instinct, just human beings for kids that age. Plus, it could be, combination of a few things. Cabin fever. Maybe he was still a little hungry. I don't think so. I fed him dinner. A lot of different things. So who knows? But when I picked him up yesterday, I made sure we parked the car because he didn't have daycare that day. I parked the car and we went for a walk for an hour through the park, the whole deal. And I made him walk the entire time. I didn't make him. I mean, I carried him a few times, and I carried him home from the park because he was kind of toast. But walking and playing for an hour for him and for me is probably like 3 miles. I'm not sure, maybe 3 hours. But he did it, and he was sacked out by the time I brought him home. As far as anything else, diet continues to go well. I almost like crave my diet routine. Like I get home now after I drop them off, and I'm about 20 minutes away, 25 depending on traffic, and I'm hungry. Like I am hungry, when I drop them off. And I drive home and I park, and in the old days, maybe, I don't know, the old days, whatever days, I would go and get, a burrito or something that I could pay for, that would be fast, or turkey meat and, cheese, and just make a quick sandwich. Takes 5, real fast, mayo, mustard, all kinds of stuff. And then just make a quick sandwich, chips. But I don't eat any of that stuff anymore. So coming home now and feeling hunger, but also taking my time to cut up my chicken so I can make like almost like a ground chicken, even though they're the chunks are a little bit bigger. But so I can eat healthy chicken, a little bit of olive oil. That's all I do. I cook it till it's done. I don't overcook it. A can of black beans, I wash them off. I don't like that juicy, slimy stuff. That preservative, whatever. Black bean juice. I wash it off. I microwave them so they're nice and clean. And then I put some chicken on top with none of the chicken juice in the pan. I kind of drain that, and then I throw an avocado, whole avocado, and then I do some big scoops of Greek yogurt, and then I hit it with some green sauce, and that takes me like 30 minutes to cook. Maybe not that long, but there's some prep involved. And I get home now and I'm like, you know what? Like, I can wait to actually cook my dinner. Even though I've been hungry since 4:30, 5:30, excuse me, whatever. I'm with him, so I don't want to eat a meal and get tired, because it does kind of tire me out. Unless maybe it's like some scrambled eggs, something fast, just to have some protein. But just cooking my dinner really quickly is, waiting to cook my dinner has just become an important routine for me, and something that I enjoy. And I always liked cooking anyways. It's just like a calming, it's kind of peaceful. And you feel like you earn your dinner instead of, salt burrito. I mean, the chicken's still good, but salty burrito, a lot of salt, sour cream, cheese, tortilla, things I don't eat. Lots of rice, things I don't eat. Guacamole is good, but there's just things that I wouldn't eat unless it's like a Friday where I would say, okay, I earned this. I earned this week. Because not only did I earn the meal, something on my steering wheel. Not only do I feel like I earned the meal, but I also earned it, as far as paying for it. Because I got a freezer full of, ground turkey, chicken breast, frozen shrimp, a lot of healthy proteins. I got eggs, I got all kinds of stuff, and beans. I got a whole, it might not be the most luxurious, cupboard of things as far as, chips and dips and all kinds of cheeses. I don't eat that stuff. I just want stuff that's going to make me full. And that's how I feel. It always makes me funny, feel funny when I'm doing a video and there's like people walking by and they're watching. Still a new experience for me. As far as anything else going on, yeah, the diet is going well. Exercise, as you look in yourself in the mirror when you're getting ready in the morning, exercise is going okay. I haven't really been doing that as much, but I've been doing it with just being around my son and getting my daily exercise. And like I said, I'm going to start this job within the next maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. But it's everything works out. It's just kind of weird because it's giving me enough time to kind of tighten up my morning schedule. And eventually I want to push back from setting the alarm at 8 o'clock to 7:30, and then eventually 7. And then, lo and behold, the time is going to change. So then we're going to be at 6. And I'm going to be right exactly where I want to be. 6 a.m. wake up, 7:30 start time. I'm a part-timer, so I should be done by 3, including my 30-minute lunch break, because you can't go over 5 hours. And then go get William at 4 and be done. Or on days I don't see him, go and drive, 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, and make some money. In addition, and be done by 7 and have my same routine when I don't see him, so I can still continue to work. And it'll be good because Fridays I won't be on the clock with that job, and I can still get up early and I can go drive early morning shifts for the cab driving, and do well, in the morning time, because that's when you're making your most money. Because I'm starting at 10:30 to 2:30. Ideally, I'd like to be, let's say, if it was a Friday, where I'm working the other job and I have my Friday, I'm up early. I don't want to throw in a whole day like I'm taking a vacation day. It's ridiculous, especially on a Friday. Getting up at 6, probably the same time, and then being on the road by 8 and going maybe 8 to 2, maybe, 8:30. I don't know, getting some of those early morning riders. That may be tip. I don't know. That's pretty much it for today. Like and subscribe. These are my stories. This is my life story, my life adventure. I hope to, like I've talked about before, add different adventures in. I have the idea of learning how to edit and all these different things that people do. But I'm no different, than anyone doing other videos. And this is completely from scratch. I've never done anything like this before, and I like it because for right now, it's a way for me to express my thoughts, and it's a great way to do that for me, especially in the morning time. 30 minutes max. Talk about my life and my day, wake myself up, and what I'm gonna do. Thank you again for listening, everybody. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Halloween is next week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.